Okay, let's have a look. And then I'm going to press that.
Oh, here we go. Right, yep.
There you go. So I'm going to go back one stage. Okay. So the way that you access the platform, as you see, if you see where my little mouse is, I'm going to click log it in, and then you click start. Now we have Gooseberry Student, and then we have Gooseberry Teacher, and then we have Gooseberry Parent. I'm going to show you Gooseberry Student first. I'm not that great at gaming, so I'm not going to embarrass myself that much. So I'm going to play a video because I'm cheating completely. So children get a username and login, okay, which we create for you. At the moment, there's 3 levels. By the end of July, there will be 5 levels. So each year, we don't like to put them on years. We like to put them on capability. So it's where they are.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're a special needs school, you know, it's irrelevant the age really. It's what they're capable of doing.
Exactly. Yeah, quite.
Okay. So I'm going to show you Playground now. So when the child starts, they start off with it's audio as well as text. So you'll hear that as you come through it. There you go. So it's got audio and the text. So click on Playground. So we get a rapid fire quiz. So this gives you a benchmark of what the children know. Okay. It's all vocal. I don't know if you can hear this or not.
I can't. I can hear something. I can't really hear it, no.
Did you hear that?
Right, so, I mean, I can hear it. Is it reading the questions out?
Yes, it is.
So is it reading the questions and the answers?
Yes, it is.
Like the options?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Basically, because we deal with a lot of primary schools, so you can't expect a 5-year-old to be able to do it, you know. And then by in September, we are planning to update all the iPads and the Androids so all the levels carry vocals. Your audio.
Fantastic.
Right. So that's what we're planning to do. So within one level, so once they've done the rapid fire quiz, there's 10 questions, and then they can choose. Now, all of these, there's 10 individual games. You, from your control panel, which I'll show you in a second, determine which game they play. So if you wanted them to go home and play the game, you can make sure they only play Selfie Safe, for example, or Share Selfie. So it's all controlled by you, because children being children want to, you know.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, okay. And there's a leaderboard, so it's for school and also globally. So it's going to go back a second, and it's going to go into people online. It's very much a game. You know, they're going to collect stars. They're going to find family members. Again, as you.
So this is reading. This will read these words out to me. Fantastic.
Okay, and then they play. Yeah. So. It is. I'm going to turn the volume down on it slightly. It's loud.
I can't hear it at all. So, well, I can kind of vaguely hear something in the background. But fair enough.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, so you might as well actually turn it off because I can't hear it anyway.
Okay, cool. Well, it just shows you. So there's only about 10, 15 minutes worth of gameplay. Then there's questions that come up through it. Okay. And then when they finished all of the games within that level, there is another rapid fire quiz at the end of it. Okay.
So when you say rapid fire quiz, what do you mean?
So at the beginning you saw
rapid fire.
Oh, it's just a name that we thought up for it. It's basically.
Does it have to be quick?
No, it is timed, but we've allowed enough time for a child because the child is reading the question out, as you can hear, so it's enough time for them to read it out and then to make their answer as well. So we've
is there like a timer clicking down or anything like that?
Yeah, there is. It's just a little circle that goes on the left-hand side. So if I go back, if I go back, you'll be able to see that. So there you go. So it's here. So if you look here, there's a little clock there.
Right, and is it loads of time?
It is loads of time. Honestly.
Okay, that's right. Okay,
it's loads of time.
Okay.
Yeah, we've made sure. And then, you know, at the end, I haven't shown it, but there is another rapid fire quiz at the end that you do as well. All right, but that's when you finished it.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going to go, this bottom point, I don't have to. It's very easy. I'm just going to log out just to make sure I'm in the right user. Okay, so you have a control panel, so you can add all your teachers and you can have as many teachers as you want. And well, we generally do this for you. So you send us a CSV file and we add all the students for you. If you're quite IT competent, you can do it yourself. It's just uploading a CSV file and it's really straightforward. But we give that option to you, okay?
Right.
So while the children, as I said before, it's permission-led. So you might want to, you might want to lock down each year group who plays which game, and you can also control who plays which scenario by just ticking these boxes or unticking them.
And can you do that by individual students or
it's
kind
on,
of cohort?
It's on cohort, yeah, it's on year groups. So if you,
groups.
Well, what you can do is, so I'll take it back, I'm just going to save it. So what you can do is you can group your capable students, and all it is inputting them into the system into which year groups you think that they're best suited at.
I can't do it by class. I mean, the way our system works is we've got mixed year groups all over the place.
Yeah. Well, you can define these into class groups. So if you look, so year 3, so this is how other special needs, year 3, is 7 to 8-year-olds, if I remember correctly. So you would allow them to play playground, street, playground and street. If you've got more capable students, you would play city and town. But we have, if I show you this, what we do is we have a complete resource here that gives you all the guidelines so that you know how to do that.
Yeah, so going back to this grouping by year group business, can I set anything I like for any year group?
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm going to have to be doing is things like thinking about a class, because like I say, our class name, we don't do year groups here. I mean, they are in, they are in a year, but our classes are grouped by ability.
Yeah.
So I could kind of maybe think about, well, upper 1 are about year 3, but then I'm going to have to, there's no option, is there, to change those year group names to something else?
No, not at the that's something we are looking at. We are looking at putting age group rather than
just customizable kind of thing. Anyway, okay, right, fine.
So that's that's one thing that we're looking. The really cool aspect is, so now we can go into playground, which is the games that they would be playing, and what it shows you is, because this is part of a 1-hour lesson, the game, it's only 10-15 minutes of the game, and then we've got workbooks and other things that go in there. It's just downloading. I'm going to shut that down. It will come through. We had an electricity cut earlier, so it's hindered everything. When you're on the telephone and you're like, really didn't need that to happen.
No, especially in your business, really.
No, absolutely. So it will come through. I'm just going to wake it up a little bit. There we go. So you can see exactly how each child has played. So if we go over 9, that's online gaming. So you can see, there's an issue there because of the questions they've answered. You can even click in and go and have a look at how they responded to each of the questions within the game. So you can define it down to each student. There's also a pre-rapid fire quiz, post-rapid fire quiz. So for Ofsted perspectives, you can actually show that there's been an improvement from the start of the 12 weeks to the finish of the 12 weeks. So it records it as they're playing. So you can just screenshot this, print it off, and off it goes. So it's pure evidence from an Ofsted perspective.
Yeah.
Go back. Let's go back to the dashboard. Then we've got the resource area. So go to playground. There's a workbook that sits alongside each. So we've got perfect passwords there, so we can click on that one. So there's a workbook. You can either download it. We eventually will put this in the game itself, so they don't have to they don't have to leave the game. It's all electronic, but there's other classroom activities within it, and then to support.
So is that for each? Sorry, that's for each
scenario in the game.
Right. So sorry. So on the game, when you showed me, there's lots of different, like there's sort of 10 levels or something,
so
aren't there?
these are scenarios. We call them scenarios. So there's a game on perfect passwords, there's a game on fake profiles, there's a game on selfies.
So do you envisage this being used so you'd have a lesson where you do something online and then you've got this to go with it, so it's like one
it's 1
online
hour
activity and this per week?
Yeah.
Right, okay, gotcha. Right,
so if we go back a set, so if we go to the lesson plan, so you've got a lesson plan that sits alongside the game and sits alongside the workbook, and it's broken down into 10-minute segments because a lot of teachers are struggling with keeping up to date, so we keep it all up to date for you, and they're very, very comprehensive, you know, so it's even got glossary in there, extensions in there, plenary, all of those type of things, and other areas. It's also, you know, we're filling the resource. We've got curriculum documents because we do cover the ICT and the PSHE curriculums and a bit of the English curriculum, bizarrely enough, because it's spoken as well as audio. Is it audio as well as text? And then we've got a great area where there's teacher parent handouts, you know, other supporting documents. And it's our job to keep it up to date. And then we've got posters that you can put around, and they're all in line with TAF. Okay. So that's this.
In line with what? Sorry.
They're all in, you know, they all look like TAF. They're all in line with TAF's brand. So if I go on here, for example, so they're all quite.
What is TAF?
TAF is the little character that they play.
Oh, the gooseberry.
Yeah, the gooseberry.
Right.
So sorry.
Gotcha.
It's an assumption of mine that everybody knows who TAF is.
Well, quite, yeah. Well, you must be living with him, you know, like you're there all the time with him. So.
Yeah, so that's TAF. So.
Right, okay. I see. So you mean all of this stuff has got the gooseberries all over it?
Yeah,
kind of thing. Is that what you mean?
So
right, gotcha.
It's all relative to the game, so which is really important. And then
nice.
And then the last bit of the jigsaw puzzle is the parent, who is slightly challenging to say the least. So as the child is playing, the system will email the parent with the results of what their child has responded into a game. They also can click into the game and see exactly which question, you know, they've answered correctly or incorrectly. Again, they can...
And they can see what the questions are, can they? Oh, right, okay, cool.
Yeah, so they can define it. They saw what their score is, but also, you know, so if they see a problem, they can then go back, and we have got a resource area. So we've got some videos on here, but these videos are things like how to shut down Facebook, Game Center, Google, iTunes, YouTube. So we're growing the videos all the time. And then we've got documents as well. What will be here, and we're just working on them, is a document per scenario in the game. So very much like the lesson plan, but with what they need to be talking about, how they need to be talking about it. But there's big problems with Musical.ly, so we've got a Musical.ly one. There's a new Snapchat one gone out as well. So it gives parents guidance, and we feel that if we're emailing them, we're almost forcing them to take response, because that's what their child has just done, you know. So and it also protects you as a school, so you can turn around and say, well, actually, you know, you could see that your child was responding like this. Have you had a conversation with them? So that's very much what we're doing with Gooseberry Parent. So it's a very, very simple platform, and you know, once all the students are set out and you've worked out, you know, where they should sit and how they should sit, and it's a, you know, it is a very good idea. You know, we will be changing the year groups, playground permissions.
I don't think you need to change that much. If you could just make that customizable, so you can decide whether you want it in year groups, or you can type in whatever you like. That would be perfect. But anyway, I'm not telling you how to do your job. Anyway,
we have a development company in Pakistan, so we sit there and go, right, we want to do this now, and they're like, okay, that's fine. But everything we've created is off what teachers have wanted. So first of all, when we first launched the game, it was just on the whole playground, for example, and they were like, well, can we just pick which scenario they play? And we're like, actually, that's a really good idea. So that's when we put the scenarios in, because of teachers' feedback. And they were like, well, can we not have a quiz at the beginning? So everything we've done is with them in mind. So
fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, we do have a CPD, which, you know, we can talk about later, and we're hoping to give the teacher games and the parents games as well, so you can compete against and it's just all about education, really, and bringing it all alive.
Give the teachers games.
Yeah.
What, you mean games that the teachers can play?
Yeah, why not? Why
They've got reports to write, for God's sake.
Hey, look, they need a bit of recreational activity.
Right.
And then we've got Gooseberry Gurus. So the CPD is a safeguarding CPD, and it looks like Gooseberry Planet. So it's sort of fun, but the difference with our CPD, it goes over a year. So
Right.
It's basically they do 90 minutes. It's broken down into 9 modules. And then there's a refresher at 3 months, and then a refresher at 6 months.
Sorry, how does that work then? So would that be something that I would be saying to the teachers, you need to do this?
Well, as teachers have, all of staff have to do a safeguarding CPD. All of staff, it's a statutory requirement at least once a year.
Yeah.
So what that you do is they get an email link, which we set up for you, and they do it online in their own time. So, and you can see how they responded, where whether they passed or whether they failed, and they don't play the game. This moves along on its own. So, but it's slightly more interactive than, and it's amazing how many teachers, a lot of the CPDs out there is a one-day course, and it is a bit death by PowerPoint, and it's informing rather than really educating, whereas this is highlighting what they need to look out for. And if I whiz that along.
Are you talking about safeguarding as in, everybody's business? Like the general safeguarding that we have to do?
Yeah. So we create.
So this works instead of those, right. Okay, so how is that then? I mean, because I would probably be quite interested in that.
So what we've got a teacher.
Who's approved that course?
So what we've done is we've got a teacher. So she's been a teacher for 20 years. We only launched this in January, and it sits completely in line with keeping children safe in education, September 2016. Yeah. Okay, it hasn't been, nothing out there's been completely certificate. We've tried to get the PSHE Association to verify our games for us, but they literally have said we cannot assess games, we can't assess apps, which is crazy because look at the world that we live in. They're absolutely everywhere with us. So this sits completely in line, and we've worked a long time to get this up and running. And as you can see, down into modules. So what is my role? Each one of these, when it's done, it then clouds out. So you can see here, and then they get a 3-month refresher and then a 6-month refresher. Right. And it's all online, and it's something they can do in their own time. And then there's a big reporting system on the back end of it that you can see who's logged on, who's completed, who's yet to complete. Right. So as you can see, look, what my role is grayed out, so they've done that, and then they can move on to the next roles. And then we have Gooseberry Gurus, which is we train...
You have what, sorry?
Gooseberry Gurus. So we train one of your guys to deliver parent workshops or...
Oh, I see, right, okay.
And that's a once a year subscription, so, but that's separate. But, the game side is very much about the children. It's very child-focused, and about teaching them. And it's about being positive on the internet, not scaring them, but because one of my great ethoses is there's so many people out there blocking and filtering and checking, but actually, if we stop it, they'll go underground and find another way of doing it. So we need to show them ways of identifying if they're going to be groomed, or it's just it's very much about the education side of things.
Can I just go back to this parent training? So you would come and do some parent training on internet safety, would you?
Well, we do parent workshops, but only for schools that buy the Gooseberry School program, because it is part of the program. So I can come out, and we've got some amazing feedback.
No, but I mean, this is the thing I'm looking at buying, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you buy
something else. Right, yes, I see.
So the parent workshops, we do parent workshops, but they're totally separate. So they are... we charge £450. We come out and do an 1.5-hour workshop with your parents. And honestly, when the parents walk away, they're like, oh my God, we have never seen anything like this, because we actually show them how to do everything. It's a full, if you go on our website, I can send you some quotes. But a lot of schools, I can't duplicate that. So I get booked up completely months and months in advance because they're so popular. So we created the Gooseberry Guru, which is where we teach a member of staff in your school to deliver the workshops, and we give you all that information and we keep it up to date. We show you how to change privacy on Facebook, so you can actually do that with your class as homework, but you can do that with teachers as well, just so you get more value for money, basically.
Okay. So one of I would sort of nominate a staff member who you would train to deliver the parent training.
And it's the same cost. So a parent workshop, for me to come out and do it, would cost $450. But for one-off. But we would train one of your staff, and you would have a subscription for a whole year for $450. So it just makes sense.
Right. Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So you can deliver that as many times as you want to.
And what form would that take? Would that be some of the staff member coming to you?
We do it all online, actually, so it will sit in here. But if I show you one of my, and I update them all the time, so I've just done an updated one at the moment, parent workshop. So this is the type of things that we do, but we will train the member of staff up, and you know, there's a video in there, Kaylee's love story, all the statistics, then actually physically shows you how to shows YouTube, how to do...
Oh, I see. So it gives you little hints about making YouTube safe and that kind of stuff. Right, gotcha.
And Facebook, and some really important areas that nobody shows you. It even shows the routers, but we keep this up to date. And then the most important stuff is things like Musical.ly. So we research what's out there, and then we put this
in here. Then that will include all that stuff about Blue Whale and all that nonsense and all that stuff. Right, okay.
And Roblox and Minecraft and it goes on for downloads, passwords. Honestly, it's like even because a lot of the time the parents aren't safe, so we're teaching them how to identify fraudulent emails, child addicted, so to try and stop them from using the internet so much. 10 things to keep you. So we're trying to make it, and we teach a member of staff, because then you can break that down, and you can even do it on staff, which we do a lot, actually.
Yeah, I was just thinking actually exactly that.
Yeah, because 35% of parents are putting stuff online about their school. Not positive, negative, and also children are hunting teachers. So what we do is we show the teachers how to protect themselves so children can't find them, and all those type of things as well.
Oh, right. Oh, that sounds good. Great.
So, what do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I think it sounds really good. So, I mean, I spoke to you about, because we're a special school, obviously, and we've got a pretty limited number of students that
so you would find...
I mean, by per student. So, I mean, I think it might be about 30, but what I will do is go away and double check, because I don't want to, I mean, I know you said we can just add more if it comes to it, but I need to get the starting figure correct. The teachers... though, does it matter how many teachers we put on it?
No, you can have as many teachers as you like.
Right, so in theory, because our school is as it is, well, from one year to the next, you'll get teachers with some, so this year, I'll have a teacher whose class definitely would be a group that would be using this, and then next year, or maybe the next 3 years, not at all, but then again, so ideally what I'd do is kind of, and when I introduce it, I'll introduce it to everybody, all the teachers, so they all know about it, and then only a few of them are actually going to use it this year, but then, going forward, others would. So that's okay, is it, to have lots of teachers? Okay, right, great.
You can have as many teachers as you like. The only thing that's restrictive is the amount of students. So I can invoice you for 30 students. Okay. It's £3 a student and £150 admin fee. How many staff have you got in total for this? I'm just thinking about the CPD.
Well, if you're talking teachers, we've got about 30. 30 teachers.
Okay, and how many staff, including, because you do have to do cleaners and everybody, that's actually physically...
we've got about 220.
Oh my God, really? That many?
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, if you wanted to just do the staff on the CPD, it would be 300
more, obviously. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about the safeguarding. I'd need to check that out, because my understanding, I mean, I do safeguarding training, and the idea of not having to do that would be quite nice. But I would have to check with our local Safeguarding Children's Board about it, because it's sort of not face to face, is it?
No, it does meet the requirements. Yeah, it does meet. It does sit with the requirements. But you can go and check with them.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then we got the Gooseberry Guru. Yeah. So and then we got the Gooseberry Guru. Which
that sounds very interesting. I'd be very interested in getting somebody trained up to do that.
Okay.
We do a lot of work with our parents.
Yeah, no, and that's
so the train. So as it's all online, then presumably there's no kind of messing about with timings or anything.
No,
I could just
no, you can do it as and whenever.
Do at any point.
Yeah. So
okay, fantastic.
It gives you loads of flexibility, but rather than paying for a parent workshop, just sign some. You train one person up, and then
exactly. And we could do 20.
Yeah, you could do 20. But it's good when you get a situation like you get a situation with Musical.ly. You can go right. Okay, parents, we're going to do a quick workshop. 30 minutes, come in, bring your devices, we'll show you how to shut it down. Just real being proactive rather than reactive.
Right, that sounds great. Okay.
So how do we move forward on this? How do we move forward?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely going to subscribe.
Okay.
It's just like I say, I just want to check the numbers of students that will be using
I've got you
it.
Down for 30. So
yeah, well, it's going to be that ballpark figure. It might be less or it might be more, but I'm just going to go through the class list and work it out so I can be accurate about it. So I mean, it'll be somewhere around about that probably, and then
you can add as many as you like whenever
yeah, quite. Oh yeah.
You're only then paying £2 a student, so you just...
Yeah, it's not really about the money. It's about just getting the whole thing set up, so I don't need to be fiddling around with it unnecessarily later on. So you sent me an email, didn't you, about did I have a quote on it?
Yeah, let me have a look.
So if I find that email, would that
let me just find you a second. I'm going to find you.
So,
I've got you on the...
I've got you on full screen here. I'm a bit scared to press escape in case it all...
No, don't press anything because then you'll cut me off.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I haven't touched it.
Just leave it, all right?
Yeah.
So I sent you one.
You sent me one a week or so ago, I think, or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, let me have a look at emails. Bizarrely enough, maybe I did it for... Okay, I have just sent over costings. It's from Claire Sherwood, actually, for 30 students as requested, and offered her a 3-year option on that as well. So it's from Claire that you would have received that.
Okay, well, I'll just search for Gooseberry. So on that email, I'm not going to look at it now in case I cut you off, but is it a case of me replying to that and kind of confirming?
You just tell me now.
There?
Just if you say now, look, just I can adjust the invoice.
Well, I do want to do it now. It's just I'm not sure how many kids. That's all. I can tell you now. I'd like to do it.
Okay.
It's just
all you need to do is tell me how many children. I raise an invoice, and that's it. And then I send the invoice to you.
So
once you've paid, it takes us 24 hours to set it up. So very easy.
Great.
Okay.
So I will. I'll sort out the number of students that we're going to do, and then so if I just email you with the number, is that the best way forward?
Yeah. Or email myself or Claire. We confirm the number, and the minute we know that, we will send out an invoice.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Cool.
Amazing.
All right. Brilliant. Look forward to having you on board. All right. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.